What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We're so excited for you to be here. Man Card Podcast. Every week, we have a quote of the week, and this episode being special, we have Ellie delivering that right to you. Hit it with us, baby.
Bum, bum, ba-dum. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Robert Cohen.
Hit it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We're so excited you're here, back on the Man Card Podcast train. This week is a special episode. Once again, I say that all the time, but I personally think this is a special episode because I have my lovely fiance on the show. Don't want to put Mitchell on blast too hard, but my boy is busy, so he couldn't necessarily make it tonight. And so my lovely fiance bit the bullet and decided to offer to come on the show. So first of all, welcome, Ellie, to Man Card Podcast.
Hello. Thank you.
This is this the second time you've been on?
Yes, I was on when the podcast wasn't that good in the beginning.
Well, no, that's the thing is you were the turning point of the podcast.
I was the turning point because I'm so great.
Yes, this is true. For many reasons. One of which being you happened to be, I think it was episode 11 or 12.
Didn't we do that question thing?
Yeah, the couple
that
questions.
Was fun.
That was fun. We're not doing that this time because we have too much to talk about to do questions.
It's way too much going on in our lives.
So we'll just dive right into it. One of the things that's happening right now, we were actually just discussing with my mom, is the wedding.
Yes.
So
we're getting married.
Well, don't sound too excited now.
Run.
Come
Run
on.
away.
Tell us how you really feel about it. No, but yeah, we're getting married, and that is May 22nd.
Ask Siri how many days that is.
Hey Siri, how many days till May 22nd?
It's 55 days until then.
55 days. Wowza. That means at the end of this week, it'll be like 50 days.
Yes. It's a lot. It's close. Like it's coming pretty close. I should make sure I want to make sure I'm not buried in how loud your voice is.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to scream.
No, don't scream.
No, I'm not trying to scream. I'm trying to talk loudly and be very close because I am a soft-spoken
very much so.
being.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I have to be specifically dialed into what your volume is, or else just your decibel just goes in one ear and out the other, and I do not register it. It's almost like vibrations.
It's like
you
that
don't even
Pitch
notice.
Perfect girl. You know, like the Asian mouse girl.
Never seen Pitch Perfect.
She's like this cute little Asian girl, and she doesn't talk. She's like,
that's you.
And
that's
like at the very end, she says something, and they finally figure out what she was saying, and it's so funny. That's me.
That's literally you. Like you don't. It's funny because I'm not trying not to listen to you, but it's one thing that does make you very frustrated is when you say something
when you don't hear
and
me.
I don't hear you.
It's a two-part situation because sometimes I am talking loud, but you're distracted. Yes. But other times it truly is my fault because I'm just talking really, really softly.
Right, but the other part of it is you don't realize you're talking quietly.
No,
and
because
so then,
I sound loud in my head every time.
Well, don't
I
we all?
feel like I'm screaming.
Everybody's internal voice sounds loud.
Yeah, I guess I just
I need to put some.
My dad talks really loud.
Yeah.
And you talk really loud too.
Yes.
So I feel like I don't need to talk loud because it's so loud. Like my dad would be on the phone downstairs and you could hear him all the way up in my room. Because he just that's how he is. He works with older people. So
see, that's why. That's the difference.
He has to talk loud.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a loud guy. He's just
No, he's a loud guy.
It's hazard. It's
on the
occupational
phone.
hazard.
But his sister and his brother talk so loud on the phone too. I think it's just like a thing.
Maybe it's genetic.
It's a genetic thing.
Well, you lost out on it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the soft spoken of the clan. But let's what?
Nick, shout out Nick. What's up, dude? It's one of the only people who watch this show. He just sent me a text. But he just sent a text about the bridal shower. And that already happened? I'm confused. Oh. Couple shower. That's what they got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
So it's exactly what I said. So just so for the people out there, just so they know what's going on. So we sent out, Ellie just had her actual bridal shower, right?
Yes, I had it today.
Today.
This morning, I had a bridal shower, which, like, is basically just all the women that are important and have been a part of my life. And, like, Noah's grandparents, my grandmas, Noah's grandmas,
Yep.
my grandma's, like, aunts, cousins, bridesmaids, good friends, all that kind of stuff come to the bridal shower. Well, now in the 21st century, they have, like, couple shower, which, like, wasn't a thing.
No.
And so people are very confused about it because, like my mom was like, what even is a couple shower? But it's this new thing that you just have. It's like a bridal shower 2.0, basically.
It's just an excuse to get more gifts, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's good because, like, really, the bridal shower is, like, usually you have, like, a couple bridal showers.
Really?
Yeah, like, you have, like, one side of the family and then the other side of the family.
Oh,
But
I didn't know
I
that.
just decided to combine it because we have so many aunts and uncles out of town that I was like, we can do everyone together that
Yeah.
can come. And so I was like, let's do a couple shower where we can have Noah and our friends.
Right.
And that way, because we never got to do an engagement party because of COVID. So we kind of, like, never had a celebration with everyone. So I thought, why not do a couple shower, kind of like an engagement party a month before the wedding, and it'll just be a fun thing to get everyone together, like our aunts and uncles,
Yep.
our friends, and it'll be an us thing rather than just a bridal shower is really just about me.
Right. And so with those invitations, the bridal shower invitations explicitly said bridal shower invitation.
Yeah.
The
The one for today.
The one for now, actually, in your viewer time yesterday. So the new invitations for the couple shower are going out, but also very confusing. On the couple shower, it says bridal shower.
Yeah.
So that's what Nick just texted me about. Sorry, today, Junior. He just texted me about. He's confused because he thought the bridal shower meant only the women, but they're invited to the couple shower.
Yeah.
So obviously it would be both of them coming.
Yeah.
And so he's
Well,
just confused.
clarify it.
No, of course I'll clarify it, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of clarification. So, piece of advice for all of you out there, make sure you actually say what the shower is on the invitation.
Yeah, we'll go over some advice today of things
Yeah.
that we've already learned in the process of
It's a
being
lot.
engaged. I will have to say, like, one thing that I am, like, on the fence about is, like, how long engagement periods should be, because I feel like ours has been way too long.
So we got engaged, what was it, last May?
Yeah, like, literally is like we'll have a year to almost to the date. I don't think it's to the date. I think it's a
No.
week after,
Yeah.
because it's Memorial or Labor Day.
Labor Day?
Labor
Day? Yes, babe, it was Labor Day. Yeah, but whatever, I don't even know which one's in the spring.
I can't. No, which one's in May? Whatever one is in May.
Memorial Day, right? Labor Day's in the fall.
Yeah. Labor Day's in September.
Yes.
Yes.
So Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Our wedding is on Memorial Day weekend.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Memorial Day weekend is the following weekend. I did that intentionally because I know people would have already planned family vacations for Memorial Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Because
Okay.
your mom was like, do Memorial Day. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. But I also have a dance recital for my kids I teach.
Yeah. So we will be on our honeymoon. We're actually getting back from our honeymoon May 31st.
On
and that's
Memorial Day.
on Memorial Day.
Oh, that's funny. And that's when we got engaged. So it's
Yeah.
like literally a year. A week less than a year. 51 weeks.
50. Oh, man. But I will say, like, this whole period, and you just got a text from one of your friends recently about our engagement and how it's been different from everybody else's.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you feel like it's been long, or do you feel like it's been short, or, like, would you do it differently if we redid it?
I think we did it great. I'm just annoyed. How we did it was great. I'm annoyed with how we did it, as well as
Why
happy
are you
with
annoyed?
it. We can unpack that in a minute. But
Oh,
to
okay.
answer your original question, yes. No, I think we did it. I think it was...
You think the timing was good?
I think the timing was good for planning a wedding, but personally, it's too long
That's what
to not be married.
That's what I'm thinking. But here's the thing is it's going to depend on like everybody's specific, like what's happening in their lives. Because we did it intentionally because I was graduating college and I didn't want to
Yes.
get married and then go back to school and have to live closer to the university. And it would have just been like normal life rather than I'm going to end school and
then
start this whole new life with you in this
Yeah.
whole new season of a new job, a new life, all of that kind of stuff. So that's why I think it worked for us. But I think if you have like the option to do a shorter engagement, I feel like that would be the way to go.
really, it came down to practicality for us.
Yeah.
So there were multiple factors in which I had to take into account when wanting to get engaged to you, which was you wanted to be over 21 for the wedding.
Yes.
So I would have gotten engaged to you and proposed like a year or so before that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that one stipulation, it pushed us back further.
Yeah.
And then, practically thinking after, like you're saying, after we get married, you want to be done with school to not be like the only married person.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like having to go to school.
And
I just
yeah.
want to be done with school and like get to start a new life with you in
Well, I
this
would
new
too.
season.
Well, I am.
Yeah, you are. So I feel like, but the thing is the reason I did that, like wanted to do such a long engagement, because we could have gotten married in December or something like that.
We totally could have had a short one.
Definitely could have had a short one. But I listened to a podcast called
Oh.
What We Said, and
What's up, ladies?
it's actually it's kind of like the man card version. I love them. They're so cool. You should
And
listen
it's
to them.
ironic. You don't even like our podcast.
I listen to every episode. Don't even.
Okay.
But they were talking because I started liking their podcast because they got married really young and they're Christian. I
Right.
think they're Mormon or Latter-day Saints. I think that's the same thing.
Good question.
Don't quote me on that. But
Sorry, ladies. We totally.
Latter-day Saints I know for sure, but I think that's like correlates with Mormon.
Sure.
But they were just talking about like how it's okay to be married young and their like specific goals and how they got to that point and why they decided to get married young and all this stuff. And I was able to really relate with that. And they were both like, oh, make sure your engagement period is like at least a year because you really want to soak in that time. I feel like that time has just gone by really fast. And maybe we'll have a different perspective once we get married and we're like, oh, that was such a cool time. But it's been hard for us because we've both been living with our parents and like we've been trying to like save money and we've been away from each other. Like I feel like it would be different if you were already living together or anything like that. But
I think that's what they're trying. That's
they
what they're
didn't
saying.
live together with their so I don't know. I just feel like
Did they have their own places?
no, I don't think so.
So they lived at home.
Possibly. I don't know the whole story. I
Okay.
don't remember. It was a long time ago when I listened to it. But I just feel like if you have the option to have a shorter engagement, I do think it is nice for planning, but like it's just elongated and it really doesn't have to be. I
No.
think it does for us because I couldn't do all the planning while trying to graduate college.
Well,
but
and that's the other factor is we're doing the brunt of a lot of the planning is falling back onto us because we are choosing to do this at a family friend's house.
yes,
So it's not at a wedding venue.
where we just show up and we're just
Right.
like get married and don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
About it.
So it's a lot more like we have to
Tedious.
organize. Yeah. So we have to organize with the officiant. We have to organize with the, tent rental company. We have to organize with this van rental company. We have to organize with, every, just go down the list of things we have to organize because it's our own thing. Like we're not,
Yeah.
it's not a plug and
we're
play
starting
situation.
from scratch
Mhm.
basically. But that was something I wanted to do because I'm not the mainstream kind of person, so I didn't want to just show up to a venue and it be there. I wanted to create my own because I just
Yeah.
wanted it to be so different and something that's really just about us.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know that until you set foot
Yeah.
on when we were going to look. You were thinking like, well, it might be nice to go to a wedding venue and do this. Of course,
Yeah.
we were taking into account cost,
For sure.
which was going to make a big difference.
Which
but
is like
it's crazy.
when we first started looking at venues, because I really got to jump on it. Like right when we got engaged, I started looking because I knew if I just could do a lot of it over the summer, I wouldn't be as stressed like in the school year.
And I proposed in the middle of coronavirus.
Yeah, so we were home like all
Yeah.
the time. We weren't doing anything. I was nannying that summer.
That's right.
But I would come home and I would just have time, and that was so nice because I was able to get like so ahead on everything we've had to do, and we went through all these venues and they were so expensive. We were just like,
oh my gosh.
shocked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely shocked. And it was like
Yeah.
base just to get like the venue was like $10,000 plus.
Yeah.
And that's without any caterer. That's without anything, like not even having the decorations. That's just having the venue. And I
Yeah.
was blown away. And some of them like made you have certain caterers or made you have certain whatever, you know, there's a list of things go on and on.
For the venue.
Approved. And that they were expensive. Like rather than like finding a deal or finding more of a small local business that would do your catering or your flowers or your whatever, music, DJ, they picked these really expensive big companies. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, it's too big. It's too much and it's way
Right.
too much money. And so we were blessed that our friends like offered their beautiful venue because
Yeah.
we're able to use that and save a bunch of money. But
Bucos.
one piece of advice I also would give is like, if you have friends, use your friends. Like, use the resources you have, like friends that have skills and stuff like that. Like, if you have friends that love to do crafts or you have friends that love to do whatever, flowers or into organizing, like give them a job.
Yeah.
Like, that's how we've gotten through this. And also, if any of your friends ever get engaged, ask them what you can help with. Because we're the first of like our family friends, of our personal friends, of our family, really, other than like our older cousins.
Right.
But like at our age level, we are the first ones to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And so nobody has reached out to us saying, hey, can we help out with this? Except for Molly Ann,
Yep.
Evans's mom, who was on the podcast last week, because her son was married and her daughter, right? Carlin
Yeah. So
and
both
Harrison.
of her oldest kids are married. So that's Carlin and David. That's my best man's, Evans. He was on the podcast last week. And his older brother, who's younger than Carlin, Harrison. Harrison and Anna, both married. I actually did Harrison's
proposal video.
engagement video.
Yeah, that was so cool.
So that was really fun to do. I don't get to do those often, but when I do, I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
But she was the only one of like Jenny's, your mom's friends,
Yep.
or my mom's friends, really, that was like, hey, what can I do? Like, how can I help? I'll be at the rehearsal dinner. I'm going to set it all up, because she knows it really is about the people
It's
around
boots
you
on the
in
ground.
community.
Yeah.
Because it's so much to do, and it's all these little tedious things that like just need hands and need people to do. Like, you don't really need any skill or really anything.
No, nobody takes into account how much effort goes into putting a wedding on.
Oh my gosh, it's unreal.
And I get it. Of course, like it's a big deal to even get to a wedding. You know, like you have to do planning, like especially if you're out of town, you got to do flights, drive,
Everything.
get outfits, plan where you're going to stay. If you're not going to stay with, you know, the bride or the groom's family's house or whatever, it's just a lot of movement for everybody. And so, you know, as much as people plan on the other side, it's so hard.
So much work.
Like, it's a lot. Like, we're tired of it. Like,
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, someone asked me, are you, like, how's the planning going? You know, are you ready?
Tired
I'm
of
like,
that question.
I'm
tired
tired
of that question.
I'm ready for it to be here. I'm just like, I'm so thankful though for everyone that's helping us.
Yes.
Like she's kind of like my second grandmother. I don't know how to really explain her, but she was my nanny growing up.
Right.
And she's done weddings for different churches in the local area, and she just knows everything about everything.
Yeah.
She's just one of those like Southern, she's like Martha Stewart, literally,
Yeah,
in the
kind of.
flesh.
No,
She's
she really
Martha
is.
Stewart. She can cook. Amazing.
Oh yeah, she's really good.
Amazing cook. And she
Ironically,
just knows
she's not doing the catering.
No, she's not.
She
did not want to do it.
That would have been too much.
We asked her about it and she didn't want to do it. She said, I can't, no. I want to enjoy the wedding.
Yeah.
But she's doing all the decorations. She's doing all of the planning for the wedding.
Yep.
So like the day of, like what's going to happen. Like you just don't think about those things. Like we're going to have to wake up at a certain time and get to the venue, and then we're going to have to go get ready, and then we have to walk down to this where we're doing the reception or the ceremony, and then we have to do the ceremony, and then we have to transport people. Like, there are so many minute details that you just don't think about. You're just like, oh, we're getting married, and then you sit down and you're like, oh wait, where are people going to go to the bathroom? Where are people going to park their cars? Oh wait, how are they going to walk from here to here? Oh, when are we going to have cocktail hour? Like, there are so many things, and it just feels like after we do like 10 tasks, we have 25 more right behind it.
Yeah, we're never getting anywhere.
No.
And the biggest thing that drives me crazy is the what do you call it, officialness of it. Like, if you do something wrong, then people get offended.
Well, okay, that's
like
something
crazy.
That's something that we are kind of banking on, I guess. Is like, we're very traditional, and we want to keep the traditional elements of the ceremony. Like, some people would just get married and move on, but like, we want to keep the ceremony very sacred. And so we're focusing on those traditional elements of like doing what we're supposed to do, because we really want it to be special and sacred because it's our ceremony. And so we're having to, figure out all these details of like who walks down the aisle first, and like what happens after that, and what this like procession of everyone. Like, there's so many little things. But
well, not even that, just like on the invitation, like we spelled somebody's name wrong on accident, and they got offended, and I was like, well, you get over it.
Yeah.
Like,
we
big
can't
whoop.
do anything about it.
And then also in the current age, I actually had this discussion with my mom the other day, but like, people don't realize that you go online to RSVP for stuff. So you're not going to list out every single person that's invited on the invite. Yeah. Because usually you used to put an RSVP card in the envelope that had everybody's names on it.
Some people still do that.
Some people do that.
But that's just so much more work, because with the mail, especially right now, it's not good.
It's risky.
It's very risky. And for us to have to wait to get those cards back would take forever.
Well, and then we'd have to... Well, and then some people delay and don't send them back immediately. Yep. And then some people's get lost in the mail, so we don't know.
And then we don't have them on the seating chart.
Nope.
That's a disaster. Don't do that. Just do online.
So we have online, and obviously we'll coordinate with the older generation to make sure that they...
Most of our grandparents are good with that, though.
Yeah, most of ours. But like, some people don't have grandparents that are plugged into that at all.
No, they don't. But we're lucky with that, and we practically know who's coming. We can call them and make sure, like, what if we don't hear from them.
But that was a big deal, is like being able to track everybody, and like we get live updates when people RSVP.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I get like a little ding, this person's coming to the wedding. I'm like, hey.
I turned off notifications because I didn't want...
Oh, I love it. I'm like, I get so excited. I'll be in class, and then I'll get out of class. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got 4 RSVPs. It's like fun.
I say that for you, because then I think if I got them and I opened it, you wouldn't get them.
Probably.
So that was.
But we also put a little like a note to the couple. So I open it on my email, and it has these little notes to us. It's really cute. It's fun. It's like fun. A little game.
Yeah. Well, and then we can track, like, we have our registry on there. We have
thenot.com.
The Knot.
If you are getting married soon, going to get engaged, thinking about it, look up thenot.com, because it has everything. Like, I don't know who came up with it, but genius idea.
Yep.
It basically is a website where you can put all of your information, your registry. You don't even have to technically register for specific stores if you don't want to.
Oh, didn't know that.
You can just add stuff from anywhere on the internet.
That's nice.
Yeah, and just add it. But we wanted to have stores just so we could keep like kind of the same style of some things, and just so if people wanted to go to a store, like I know my grandma wanted to go to Crate and Barrel to get this stuff, rather than going online.
Well, yeah, a lot of those older generation that are used to going to a store asking for the registry of the couple.
Yes,
they're used to that, and so when they go, it just makes it more sense, easier for them. Although right now with everybody that's like, for the virus, and all the stores are like, you gotta go into masks and all this stuff. Some people just don't feel comfortable, and so it's super easy to just have that online.
It's so easy, and they have like, we were able to put like our engagement photos up on there, and like that was so cool because again, we have family that live in California and Minnesota, and just for them to be able to just go on there and see those, because we post a couple here and there on Instagram, Facebook, but we're not posting every single photo, and when they can see that, it's really cool. They're like, oh my gosh, and my grandma, I call her Coachy,
What's up, Coachy?
Coachy's the best.
Yeah, she's great.
She was so excited that it was on there, and like one of my dance teachers was able to see it, and it's just like fun because it has everything you need on there, and the RSVP list is on there, like our registry. What else is on there? We put like where we're staying.
Yep, where we're staying. It has all the instructions, and you can also put in all of the events that certain people are invited to.
Yes, so like rehearsal dinner. Or if you did, if we wanted to have put all the showers on there too, yes,
we could have done that. Didn't do that, which was fine. But
we gave like things around the venue to do.
Yep. It has a checklist of all of the things you should be doing before the wedding.
Yes.
And you can check them off, keep up with it, and it tells you when you're behind on doing stuff, which we have quite a few things that we're behind on.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
We'll catch up. We'll
catch up for sure.
Yeah.
But what were you saying you were talking about how we were going to dive into that later?
Oh, well, we will dive into that right after we take a quick break for the Man Card Podcast mini show, halftime show. See you right back after this. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Man Card halftime mini episode inside of the episode. That was great, babe. I appreciate the sound effects. That was not added in post. That was Ellie's perfect. She's got a sound box over here. But we're excited to have this episode sponsored by none other than mancardpodcast.com. Well, that was really good.
It's like iCarly.
I know. But this episode was sponsored by mancardpodcast.com. That's how we do everything. It's where you can find all of our latest episodes, linked to YouTube. You can support the show. We have some updated links that take you right over to our support page.
It's very professional.
As long as it has your approval, that's all we need, right?
It looks very nice. My man's put a lot of effort into it.
I did.
It is very put together. Looks like a real podcast website.
Well,
so proud. Round of applause.
You.
Put it in the yay.
Oh, yay. Well, this has been your mini episode inside of the main Man Card episode, Man Card Halftime Show. Thank you for joining us. Check us out online on YouTube, mancardpodcast.com. We'll see you on the other side.
See ya.
All right, and welcome back to the main episode for Man Card Podcast. We're coming back fresh off of our recommendations from the first half. I know we had our halftime show that broke us up a little bit, but we wanted to jump back into it with a text that you just recently got from one of your friends about our engagement. What's up, Hope?
Hope here.
How you doing? She doesn't watch the show, but
no, she doesn't.
You'll tell her
she
to watch
might.
After this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get her to watch it.
Get her to watch it.
Come on, girl.
Come on, girl.
Show up. Support.
What's up,
brother?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I almost hit the water.
So violent.
I'm Man Card Podcast. Yeah.
Well, in other news, yes, Hope sent you a text message about a friend of hers. You'll be better at describing this than I would be.
Yeah, so she texted me last night, which was actually great because we needed some encouragement. We got into a little argument, but that's okay. That's what relationships are for. Wait, no, that's not what they're for. That's just what happens in them.
Yeah, it happens.
And you just have to.
And you got to get through it. We still have yet to figure out how we best argue.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting closer.
It's a process.
It started off. We're way better than where we started.
Oh yeah, it used to be bad.
It used to be really bad.
But we're working on it.
Hey, come on.
But I was talking to her before I go into what she said.
Yes.
I was like, just in today's society, like people just give up on relationships so easily.
Right.
And like, it's just so important to remember that you have to put effort into relationships.
Very much so.
You can't just show up and it's going to work out. Like, you have to be able to, and I think you said it best, is like, you fall in love with someone and then you choose to love them for the rest of their life.
Correct.
And like, I'm choosing to love you just as you're choosing to love me. And yes, we love each other.
It sounds super bad.
No, it's not bad, because here's the thing. Like, we are different people. and we do different things, and we're not going to agree with each other on every single thing, and
No.
that's okay. But we choose to love each other despite our differences, despite our arguments, despite our similarities too. Like, we will love each other despite all of those things.
Yeah.
And people these days just expect it to be so easy and perfect. And if your feelings get hurt in any way, or if that person is not putting you up in the highmost thing every single which they should, that's not what I'm saying, but if they're not,
if you're not living on the, what they think is if you're not living on the mountaintop experience
Yes,
of your
that's what I'm
relationship
trying
at
to
all
say, yes.
times, something is wrong and you should get out of
and
it.
that's not true. Fake news.
Yeah. Well, some couples get into arguments and they're like, well, if I was with the right person, then we wouldn't be arguing this much, however much this much is.
Exactly. And the thing is too, is like, yes, there are situations when, like, if it's unhealthy, get out of there. Like, don't stay in that relationship. But if, like, you're having complications, talk to that person. Like, just be real and say, hey, we got to figure this out. And my dad also gave me some really good advice growing up, and I would always, like, you know, didn't want to
dads tend to do that.
Dads tend to do that. Yes, they do. But I would always not want to hang out around my family, you know, in the teenage years when
You angsty teen.
Yeah. And I was like, Dad, I just, like, don't get along with y'all all the time. He's like, well, if you went to your friend's house, you wouldn't get along with them if you were with them 24/7. And I was like,
It's true.
Drop that mic, dude. That is so true.
Dude.
Because my dad is a dude. I mean, come on.
What's up, Bernie? How's it going?
We love Burn Dog. But it's so true, because you're going to get in arguments no matter how much you love that person, or no matter how much, like, if you are family with them or if you're friends with them, like, you're going to argue because you're going to not think of the same thing every single solitary time. Like,
no,
it's just not
and it's
gonna
funny,
happen.
like, I can rub my mom the wrong way.
So you needed to fully finish that sentence.
Yeah. Welcome to Man Card Podcast, where the innuendos roam freely. They rum freely.
But we'll get in the text message. That was just my little bloop of a message.
No, but ultimately it comes down to, like, relationships are only worth the effort you put into them. And some people think that, like, once you get into the right relationship, that the effort goes out the door. It should be easy money.
Fake news.
Easy money.
Easy money.
It's so cute when you do that. Love that. You just got a little taste, people, of the darling that I get to marry. But what did Hope's friend reach out to her and say? Because that's what she said,
yeah,
right?
So I guess they were just having a conversation, and we actually talked on the phone for like an hour last night. Until like
girls
1 in the
tend
morning.
to do that.
Yes, we tend to do that. But she was just talking about how she was talking with some friends, and I guess they don't have as many Christian influences in their life, or really not even just Christian, just good influences in their life.
Yeah, that sounds
like
about
just
right.
good human influences. But she told, I guess the topic of us getting married came up because I think it's a friend. She didn't specify who it was, but I think it's a person. I think it's a friend that I used to dance with at Kennesaw. And I think they were just talking about it, and she, Hope mentioned, oh yeah, Noah is moving to their apartment like next month. So she's trying to find a place too, like right around where we live.
Right.
Because she's going to be working in that area as well. And she was like, oh, Ellie's moving in too. She goes, oh no, she's not moving until May. And like that blew this girl's mind because she had never even heard of that. She's like, what do you mean? They don't live together right now? She's like, no. And she's like, are they not going to live together in 2 weeks when you move in? She goes, no. She's like, I don't understand. Like it just didn't register because like everyone these days just moves in. And I will have to say, we almost fell into that trap. Very close. And I'm so, not like it's a trap. Everyone can do their own thing and make their own decisions. And it's a trap. that's your thing. But for us, it was really, really good for us to just like be separate during this time and to grow as individuals, but also just to come together and not live together because it just would not have worked out as well. It would have been fine. It would have been fine. But we wanted to glorify God in this process. And to do that, you glorify him in the ways that he asks us to do in the beginning of time. And that's to save everything, wait for marriage, be apart, be individuals, and then come together as one when you are married, not before that. Yeah, and I think that's what I was saying earlier, which we'll dive into more, which is this.
I love that we did that, and I think it's
Me
great.
too.
But at the same time, it has been absurdly difficult, and I see
So
why
hard.
people don't wait.
Exactly.
Because it's like,
it's hard.
it's stupid annoying, it's stupid hard.
But no one said it would be easy.
No, it's, of course, I didn't expect it to be
Yeah.
easy, moving back in with my parents and then them being able to run roughshod, not like they run roughshod anyway, but like being able to call the shots on my life again after living away from them for 4 years at Tech. I was like, well, that kind of
It's just a different
sucks.
dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, like I was not expecting it because I was expecting to come home and then just be like a continuation
Done.
of
Yeah.
me living by myself,
Mm-hmm.
which was not the case. Like I was for a rude awakening when I moved back home and I was not able to call the shots anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, dang. What's great though is I get a month and a half of living by myself
Yes,
in this
you
new
do.
apartment.
And you always said you wanted to live by yourself before you got married. And
I
here you
did.
go.
I
You
get-
get a month and a half.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for being so generous.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun time. I am excited to move in because it's making me really feel like an adult.
Yes.
Like
Because you've never had your own apartment. You've only
No.
lived at Tech in the dorms.
I lived in the freshman dorms at Georgia Tech for the whole time I was there.
Crazy.
So I went from my house to freshman dorms for 4 years, taking care of other freshmen for three and a half
Yes,
years.
You were a dad.
I was a dad for 3.5 years, and then I came back home to living at home with my
Yeah.
parents. So I've really never had, and
Your own space, really.
yeah, and so how I judge, adulthood and cusping over into your individual life is toilet paper. If you're buying your own toilet paper,
You're an adult.
you're an adult. It's kind of a joke, but it's really
it's so
true.
true, though.
Because I, for 4 years, was working with that one-ply sandpaper toilet paper.
Ooh.
Let's
Yeah,
just say,
we're gonna get that plush, baby.
oh gosh, because if
Extra
you go too plush, then you wipe and you don't know you got it all. Like there's a healthy balance between the one ply and the plush.
Okay, that's fair.
Because
Okay,
if
we'll
you
get
wipe and you're like, oh, I totally got that shiz, and then you're walking around later and you get do you ever get the butt cheek, like the butt cheek rubs, or like it's
my butt cheeks aren't that big, babe.
no, but I mean like right in between, they're sliding a little bit too easy.
No, I don't.
And then you go back into the bathroom and you wipe and you're like, oh, that's what it was.
No,
Really?
this might be just a guy thing.
Okay, all the guys out there, let me know.
All the ladies, let
shoot
me
me a
know
text
if I'm
because
alone.
I literally have had this happen a lot where I'll go to the bathroom and then hours later.
And not wipe enough.
No, I thought I did.
But you don't wipe enough.
Apparently not.
I wipe like 75 times.
I do too.
No, like I wipe way too many
No,
times.
I wipe until it's done. Like I wipe until it's gone, and then I finish. But
Maybe
then later,
you poop
like
your pants a little
maybe
bit.
maybe I shart my pants. I don't know. Listen. This is the show about reality. Okay,
Oh gosh,
I'm being
I'm
honest.
regretting this decision.
What, to marry me?
Yeah, here's the ring back.
No, I don't want it.
I'm just kidding.
Don't sell it though.
I'm just
Can
kidding.
you believe people do that?
Yeah.
They go
it's
out there
sad.
and they sell the ring. I just feel like that's rotten. I mean, of course you're dealing with people who are kind of rotten anyway, but like, I would think that you would give me the ring back. I mean, obviously the head of it is your mom's, of her,
my great grandmother's.
your great mother. So you can have that, but like, you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe I can have the ring back and get some money back
Yeah.
off of this investment of marrying you. I get a consolation prize.
Yes,
which
there
is
you go.
some money back.
Yeah, so if you get the opportunity to, and some people, like, they don't live in the same place as their parents. But here's the thing. If you don't have to wait to get married, get married.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, I think it all has to be this long engagement, all this stuff. If you want to get married in a month, get married in a month.
Yeah, do it. Honestly,
don't-
waiting's fine, but from our perspective, like at this point,
I wish we eloped. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, kind of. We've gotten to this point, and it's really, in my mind, it has come down to like it's making the wedding less of a prize and more of a task.
Yes.
Because
sure.
it's just so much time waiting and working and waiting, to get this done. Instead, like if we were on crunch period, 4, 5, 6 months to get it done,
Yeah,
it would have
but-
been intense, but we would have been it would have been kind of like rewarded a little bit faster for that.
But we couldn't have done that
No,
because
there's
I'm
no
in
way.
school. If I wasn't in school, I think it would be better because, people say there's never a good time, and there's never. Like, just if you're like, oh, I'm waiting for this time, just do it because you're always going to be busy.
Yeah.
But I think school is different because you have, like, I'm a part of so many things right now. I'm working, I'm in school. I have 2 different jobs.
I can't even imagine having, been engaged when I was at school.
No, it's crazy. Like, there's just so much going on because I feel like I have 4 different sections of my brain because I have like...
Well, girls already do.
Yes, we have like 25 sections. We have tabs open and everything like that. But I have the wedding side of my brain. I have the school side of my brain. I have the teaching side of my brain. I have the post-graduation, what I'm going to do side of my brain. Like, I have all of these things just circulating, and I'll literally just sit there and channel through this side, and then I'll switch to the other side and go to this side and just be like, what am I forgetting? What am I missing? Let's figure this out. Literally a lot. I have forgotten a couple things this year, and I usually don't forget, but I've just been so busy, and I get home at like 9 p.m. every night and just go to sleep. Like, I am so tired at the end of the day. So it physically would not be possible for us to do a short engagement, but if you're in that phase where that's like possible for you, I would say go for it.
Oh, definitely.
And like just
go to the courthouse, man.
Everyone's different, but I always wanted the big wedding day. But you can still do a wedding day and not have to take a whole year to plan that.
No.
Especially if you use a venue that has everything there.
I think like the courthouse.
I think you can. It takes longer when you have to do all those details by yourself. But should we talk about post-marriage life? What we're planning?
Yes, we should. We got a couple things down the road.
Sorry,
I think
there's a hair on my face.
We'll get it, babe.
I'm trying.
Get that shiz.
I'm trying.
You got it. You got it. But post-marriage life holds quite a few different things. So obviously there's you applying for different jobs.
Yes, I just applied. Fingers are intensely crossed on this one. I applied, I think, Thursday?
Yes. For
this job at a private school, like 15 minutes from our apartment. I think it's even less than that.
I think it is.
It's in Sandy Springs. And they have a dance teacher position open, which is something that I'm really interested in, is working in like K through 12 schools, just because I think schools should offer dance. Like, that was the one thing that really frustrated me, is I had to do all of my extracurriculars after school and not part of the school. Like, I didn't have a tight-knit group of students that I got to hang out with every day. Like the theater kids, they all were able to hang out, and they were just a group that loved each other. And now, granted,
they do a lot of their stuff after school as well.
Yes, but it was at the school, and everything was there, whereas and you didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
Like,
private school, you definitely do have to pay for it.
Yes, you do have to pay for it. But like for dance, I would have to go to a whole different studio. I had to pay a bunch of money and all this stuff, where like Morgan, one of my bridesmaids, my best friend, she also danced at her school, Blessed Trinity. And they had like a program, and this is kind of like a parallel program where they have dance classes at the school, and they do productions, they do stuff with the musical theater kids or whatever.
Right.
And I just love that idea. Like, I think, dance should be offered everywhere because it's such a good exercise. It's such a good artistic way,
it's a way to express
move your
yourself.
Body and express yourself. It's been like therapy for me for the past,
forever.
18 years?
21 years. You started dancing right out of the womb.
No, but a long time. Most of my life I've been dancing, and I just think it's so cool to be able to share that with the younger generation so they can just keep moving, because I think movement really is like the healer of the body and the soul and everything like that, and it can get you where you need to be.
Oh, guys, didn't mean to get meta on this podcast, but movement, healer of the soul.
Mind, body, connection.
Yep, you were searching for that last word there.
Mind, body, soul.
So
mind, body, soul, connection.
Mind, body, spirit.
Spirit. That's the word I was looking for.
It's okay.
I wrote a whole paper on this, and yet I forget it when I need to talk about it.
I gave you a couple extra seconds to try to think about it, but that's okay.
Thank you, baby.
So the other thing that's coming down the pike is, obviously, I have my full-time job I'm working now with the Papa Sherwin.
Papa Sherwin, that's funny.
I like calling him Papa Sherwin. It's Sherwin Williams. So that's going well. But, obviously it's a, entry role, entering into, in the next few months, going on a year with them. So, looking to either, move up, and see what the future holds. Excited for that. Yes. So looking for possibilities there. So, scouting that job board within the Papa Sherwin, see what the Papa can offer me. So that's coming down the pike. Don't know what that's going to that's going to bring. Who knows?
No.
But
We'll find that out.
we will.
Figure it out.
And one thing we had mentioned, and this is more of like a life goal that we have, is to start our own wedding property.
Yes, that was something that inspired me in this past year of like trying to find a wedding venue at the beginning and literally not finding one that we could afford.
No, yeah, that was the biggest deal, is because like we looked around and it's like the cheapest one is $10,000.
And we're just like, oh, and that's
What?
base level.
Yeah, that's like you just get to here's the venue for a day.
Yes, and that
I'm like, why?
it just
This is
blew
pointless.
our minds, and we would love to make a wedding venue for young couples such as ourselves that are getting married, maybe even like, it's for everyone, but it's definitely geared towards people that, one, don't want to do all the work, but don't want to spend all the money.
Well, it's like, I think it's twofold. Like you can be young and take advantage of that. And you can also be like old, old, but like you could be middle-aged, like entering, getting remarried or wanting to do something
Doing
smaller
whatever.
or like.
Exactly.
You've waited a long time to get married and you just want to have an intimate thing. Like
we just want a beautiful property, just like outdoor option, indoor option, a beautiful like reception area.
Yep.
And we would eventually want to have like houses on the property.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is like long-term goals because we are broke right now. But
super.
in the future, that would be really cool because that would be something I would love to like take over because I'm not going to be able to dance forever. That's just not going to be possible, especially after we start having kids. I'm just like not going to be able to do that physically. So I think,
or time-wise.
And time-wise, like I'm going to want to raise our kids, so I'm not going to be able to go and get gigs wherever I want to go and be able to travel and all that stuff. I think I'll always teach and I'll always keep dancing because it's good for my body and it makes me feel great. But I'm not going to be able to, hardcore be a dancer.
Right.
But I think that would be a really cool day job because I could take over it. And I love organization. I love weddings. This has been really fun for me. If I didn't have school, I would be thriving right now. But, I have so much going on. But I love planning it out. I would love to have people to pick options of like what theme or style they want. We would have just like, we'd be able to change it depending on whatever anyone wanted. And I just like, that really excites me. And I would love to be in charge of that. But we've also talked about like how the heck are we going to get there, because we can't just like buy a property and start building this like right away, because where would we live? So Noah, you can share our idea on that one.
Yeah. So really think of this. So we're getting an apartment. Obviously, I think we've mentioned to move in this next month, which is really exciting.
Yes.
So that's the first stage of our relationship post-marriage. Post-marriage, post-wedding.
Post-marriage.
Post-marriage is death.
Literally.
But post-wedding, so that's our first stage. But the second stage, is going to be that transition, depending on where Papa Sherwin wants me to go. Depending on where your job kind of calls you.
Yes.
It's going to be a few years of, here or there.
Moving and grooving.
Yeah, wherever kind of the wind blows.
Yes.
And then what I thought is like we could get a van, a nice big Sprinter van, or a Ram or a Ford Transit van or something.
He's done a lot of research, so he could probably tell you about every single model, make, whatever, color, everything that's inside of it, what's good, what's bad, all the ins and outs.
Yeah, I am a little hesitant on the Sprinter. It does get a little thin at the top.
See, I told you.
But anyway, so we get a van, right? And we build it out on the inside, save up for a few years starting now. And build that out to transition out of an apartment or wherever we're living at that time into that, and then just save up for a wedding property or just a property, and then live on the property in this van, build our own little shed, basically to live in on the land, and then start building it up. Yep. And then that would be a great way to transition out of paying rent, live off the grid in a way, and allow us a little bit more flexibility to travel on the weekends.
Travel everywhere and like do our own thing. And, I'm sure at that point you may be able to be more mobile with your job and like just being able to go wherever with it, which would be awesome. Especially these days, like so many offices don't need you there anymore.
Especially depending on the job. Like Sherwin, like I'm in sales right now, so that's a little bit more person to person heavy. But, depending on down the road, wherever that leads, like I may need to just be available, and so being able to travel and be available during the day, like we could travel during the weeks,
Oh yeah, and go everywhere. And that's something we've always wanted to do, is travel together as before we have kids, because it's just going to be us and we can go places and see new things and like just experience like this new adventure together as being married. And I think that would be really cool for us because we're both pretty adventurous. Like we're homebodies though, but we're
both for sure.
We're both. So it'd be cool to like have our home, which is this van, but be able to go everywhere and kind of have both best of both worlds of getting to see all of these things. Sorry, I almost knocked that over.
Yeah, it's okay. You almost just unplugged the system here.
I know I did. But being able to see all these things together because, we're really getting married so young that we have this whole life of just whatever we want to do. And I think if we don't do that now, we're going to regret it. And we're going to be like, oh, we have all these kids now and we're like home and, which is going to be beautiful and amazing.
Not like we would resent our kids or anything.
No. That's going to be beautiful and amazing. But at this stage in our life, we can go wherever and we can do whatever we want. And we're not tied to anything here specifically.
And we're not yet tired.
Yes, exactly. Like we want to have kids young. I want to be in my 20s still. And so we want to get jumping on this because we want to go out and have fun and experience this crazy world that God has given us together.
Yeah. So I think that's really like sums up exactly. That's really our 5-year plan in a way, is to like get to that stage where we can be flexible to the point and go travel.
Yeah.
And
sure.
obviously work. Depending on whatever your job is and my job, just be flexible.
Yeah.
Come back, just continue to grind away on this wedding property.
We could finish it out too quickly because we have so many friends and family that are part of like building and like designing. Like your sister could probably design the whole thing.
Yep.
Your mom could help us do all of the painting and the
decor
pillows and like everything, all of that kind of stuff. My dad is really good with the contracting side because he has so many friends that are in that business. So he can help us with that. Your dad is great at that too. He does all the building stuff. So if we just put our heads together, we could probably get it done so fast and at a good cost too.
Well, even just a first, like a minimum viable product.
Exactly. We can start.
If you took business, you know what that means.
We can start too with like one thing at a time. Like we can hold ceremonies there for a while, or we can hold a reception, like get the reception hall set up first and be in a property near churches and just be like, hey, after your wedding at the church, come to our reception area. Like we can start
to booze up and get drunk.
To have a good time.
Praise the Lord. Get turned, baby.
Oh my gosh, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize because you signed up for it, but I did trick you.
I'm so in for it. I
did trick you.
Life is going to be fun with you.
I got the best end of that stick for sure. I'm super sorry for you.
That's okay. I'll deal with it.
You'll cope somehow.
Yes, I will.
I will give you lots of hugs and kisses.
Okay, that's fair.
Is that a good deal?
Yeah,
deal?
I think
Shake
so.
on it?
Okay.
Sure.
There we go.
Hey, that is a wedding pack that if you ever saw one, okay?
Yeah, it is.
So if you don't know,
Next level.
Check it out on YouTube. We're live on YouTube every week. Drops Monday, 9 a.m. And we also drop our Man Check episodes Friday around 5 p.m. Time has been a little weird this past week.
Yes, it has, but that's okay.
But it's been dropping at the end of every week. I'll try to drop them at Friday around 5. So you can start your week with Man Card, end your week with Man Check. Make sure you're keeping up with all the things that, on your path to earn your Man Card.
For sure.
I mean, is there a woman card?
That's just, you're born with that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So men out there, keep it up. You got to keep working for this shiz.
Yeah,
Ladies
you gotta earn it.
Ladies are born with it, okay?
Yeah, we are.
We don't get it inherently.
We've got the power.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I've heard. Well, hey, thank you for tuning in to this special episode, Fiance edition of the Man Card podcast. I really enjoyed having you on here, babe.
I enjoyed being here. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm super glad you'll have to come back again.
I will.
Maybe with
sure.
Mitchell next time, and you can pose him some questions.
Yes, I will do that. We can do that post-wedding, talk about how it is being married, discuss all the things, talk about the wedding, how it went, all that good stuff. I'd love to do that.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Check us out, mancardpodcast.com. Check us out on Instagram, mancardpodcast, and send us an email, mancardpod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We do episodes from suggestions that you send in, so don't hesitate. If you're thinking about it, send it. Hey, send it. You got a good idea. Send it in.
Do it.
All right, we'll see you next week. Man Card Podcast.
See ya.